I've been watching this creature for, I don't know, 5 minutes now. I decided I'd take another video. I'm starting to think it is a rotifer, and I just caught it at an unusual point in its day the first time around, because since then it has settled down and is mostly in just this one place. It's sort of filter feeding. Um, it's got this sort of tail at the end that I'm having trouble getting in focus. It's really two forks of a tail. It just moved it so you could see both forks. So there's one and there's the other fork of the tail. Not sure what to make of that. I had mentioned last time that there's a large empty space near its tail, which I thought might be an egg. That is not the case. It's more like a contractile vacuole, which is super weird for a multicellular creature, and I think I've misidentified it. But you can see while I've been talking, it's grown much larger. And any moment now, it's going to contract. There we go. And now it's back to being gone, and if we wait a bit, it'll be back. Over more towards the head of the creature, there's these two sort of reddish purple spots, one on either side of its head. I don't know what those are, but I think they're pretty interesting. And then on the head itself, I'm having a lot of trouble getting this in focus, but there are a whole lot of cilia sort of beating around and filtering things towards the head. Ooh, I think I've got in focus its jaw structure or something. There's definitely something in between the cilia and the main stomach type area that moves sometimes when it's like chewing or whatever. But I'm not really sure what I'm looking at, so I don't know what that is either. It is hard to get this in focus. I'm going to try making the aperture smaller in the hopes that, no, this is not actually better. We'll open that up a bit more again. And because this is at the 400 magnification of the microscope, none of the filters will do useful things. Even though they're not in focus, you can see that the cilia around its head are doing, I don't know what you call the motion of cilia, waving around or ciliating or something. So I still don't have a sense of if this is a rotifer or not, and if not, what is it? But I still think it's pretty interesting. I imagine that someone who knows what they're looking at will be able to see the red spots. There's one of them there and one of them there-ish, and say, oh yes, this is clearly a whatever it is. I imagine the red spots are important for something. There's a green thing sort of 2/3 the way down from the head towards the tail. I suspect that is algae that it has ingested and is like digesting, but I'm not sure about that. I don't really know much of what I'm doing yet. And then you can see that there's a diatom over here, also having trouble getting that in focus. If I fiddle with this and then fiddle with that some more, I don't know, there's the diatom. There's a whole lot of volvocene algae. I don't know, here are some more diatoms, these sort of star-shaped things. I hesitate to say star-shaped. The things with lots of rectangles that all meet in a point. And then there's a shell of some algae over here with these sort of 4 cells in the middle and some spikes around the edges. Elsewhere in the slide, there's more of these that are still alive. But this critter is the one that I haven't seen before and don't recognize, and is the new novelty for me. What if I try zooming out a little bit? Does that doesn't really help. So, I don't know, maybe it'll do something else, maybe it won't. When I first saw it, it was swimming around, and now it has parked itself in just this one place. It's moving a little bit, but it used to be like, I don't know, eating things or something as it swam. But whatever it is, I think it's kind of neat. And I wish I understood what that contractile vacuole is. Yeah, there it goes again. I wish I understood what that was for. I had thought contractile vacuoles were only for single-celled creatures, and this is clearly a multicellular creature. Actually, I know that the filters for the filter trade, the dark field filters and oblique illumination filters and stuff, don't work when it's magnified this high. I wonder if the Reinberg filters would work. Let me get a couple of the interesting ones. I'm going to grab a purple annulus and a blue inner dot and put those in the filter tray and see if that does something. Oh, I guess if I want the purple at all, I need to open the diaphragm, which is going to make it really hard to get anything in focus. So that's not a great idea. And if I go down to here, I only have the blue filter and none of the purple is getting through, which doesn't really help much. I don't know, maybe it helps. Not really. I'm going to take these back out. Let me put the filters away before I drop any more of them on the floor. I do appreciate that this creature is staying in one place, and so it's very easy to keep it, like, centered. Rather than chasing it around the slide all day. Are the cilia still moving? I'm trying to get... Yeah, I guess they're moving a little bit. Whoa! Whoa! Is it going to the bathroom or did it just die? Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that. Did something happen while I was fiddling with the Reinberg filters that I didn't... I'll have to look back at this later. And I worry that it's not moving anymore. I wonder if it just died. Oh, I'm sorry, little creature. I don't even know if you were a rotifer, and I feel somewhat responsible for your demise here, given that it happened while I was watching, like while you were under my care. I'm sorry. Wait, what is that? Oh, that's just some more stuff floating by. So given that the stuff seems to keep coming out the rear end in fits and starts, I wonder if it's not actually dead and it's just going to the bathroom. And yet it has lost a whole lot of its insides, which makes me concerned. Maybe it is dead. I don't know what to think. The cilia don't seem to be beating anymore, which makes me worried that it died. This was so sudden. It couldn't have died from oxygen depletion. I prepared this slide, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago? Let's say half an hour ago. And I'd sure expect it to have enough oxygen in that time. Maybe some sort of osmotic pressure kind of a thing did it in? Given that the inside seems to be at a much higher pressure than the outside of this former creature. I don't know. Poor little thing. Oh, and the tail is still moving a little as though perhaps it's still somewhat alive despite spilling its guts like that. And there's some stuff inside that is still moving around, but I don't know if that's like Brownian motion or if there's bacteria that's eating it from the inside out, or I fear it's not still alive. I keep sort of waiting for whatever's going on to stop before ending the video, but it is continuing. Given that the stuff inside keeps coming out in fits and spurts, I think this creature has some way of like closing up its, I don't know, its exoskeleton or something. And like, as a human, I have control over whether things can come out my rear end or not. But it has never occurred to me that creatures with exoskeletons might have a different way of doing that they can open and close their shell or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just babbling because this death caught me by surprise. This was the first creature I have seen in my own personal microscope that I thought might be a rotifer, and the first time I have identified something dying. So a day for lots of firsts. It is strange that there is so much inside the creature that is coming out, which implies that either when stuff comes out, it doesn't all come out and the pressure is still high inside and more will come out as the creature dies and its shell relaxes or whatever. Or perhaps something is still bringing water in the other, or water and fluid and whatever else is in the pond water in the other side to keep increasing the pressure. if there was something increasing the pressure, it's still alive, and yet it sure looks dead at this point. And so I'm surprised that more stuff keeps coming out. I would expect the pressure to equalize by the time the first spurt of stuff is finished. It looks like there's some motion here-ish. And I don't know if that's just Brownian motion or if there's like bacteria that are running around in there or what. I wonder if this was the cause of the death. Things are continuing to come out of the creature. I keep saying creature. Should I refer to it as a corpse or a creature or... I don't know. Sorry about the ambulance siren in the background. I live on a busy street and there's a hospital nearby. So it still has that one green thing sort of near its rear end, and I see one of the red things towards the head. I'm not sure where the other one went. And then it's still got that structure near the head that I called a jaw, and I'm not sure if that's actually what it is. I guess things have stopped, so I will stop recording this video. Weird things in Morningside Park.